Um, so let me just, since I'm recording, my name's Eric Johnson. Marissa just said this, but creator of Teamzy, I'm here with you guys tonight, and we're recording the call, so don't worry. But because I am going to go through a lot of content with you guys. I mean, it's going to feel like you're just sipping water out of a fire hose. I want to just absolutely overwhelm you with good stuff so that you feel like you got a lot of value from this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first take you guys through some training on actually the philosophy that underpins Teamzy, because it's more than just software or a tracker. It's actually an approach to the business, right? And it's based on relationship marketing. I'll teach you a little bit about that. Then I'll take you in, I'll show you how to do the setup. So I know a lot of you guys are using it, but if you share this with your teammates who are new, they'll learn how to properly set it up. I'll teach you guys how to do a power hour like super mega efficiently. I'll teach you how to start conversations in your power hour, how to turn those into invites, how to take those invites, follow up like a pro all the way to the point where they get to your team. Okay, so I'm going to do all of that as quick as I can. And then what I want you guys to do is just, if you get questions or anything, I'll do an open Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, you can just ask me. But I am going to mute you while I'm presenting. But if you guys want to talk, like if you feel the spirit move you, just unmute. That's cool with me. It's just to keep down distractions. So without further ado, let's just jump right in there. Let me mute everybody. I think they already are. But I'm going to jump right into my presentation. So you guys see that right now, the purple screen? Okay, how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. That's what we're gonna talk about first. A little bit about my story. Marissa told you guys this a minute ago, or some of it, is that my background is business consulting. I've been a professional business coach for 15 years, helping people build their business. That's what I do. That's my grown-up work. And so a lot of the principles I'll teach you tonight, they're universal principles that I've been teaching for all of that time. Now, when I got into the Beachbody opportunity myself, I only had like maybe an hour a day. And I know you guys can probably relate to that. And so I knew, as a business consultant, I knew that in order for this to be successful, I needed to really leverage that time. It needed to be super efficient. And so the first thing that I would tell somebody I was coaching on my consultant business is I would say, what tools are available to help you leverage your time? Well, what I found was for Beachbody coaches, there weren't any tools. I mean, there were a couple of tools, but they weren't relationship based. And so that's just useless to me. You know, it's a different philosophy, but it's all about relationships. And I'll explain that as we go with Teamzy. So let's talk about relationship marketing a little bit. What is relationship marketing? A lot of people hear this kind of a buzzword and they think, oh, it's like just being nice to people. And, you know, it's like hugging and, you know, just loving on people. And that is part of it. But you need to understand that relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. Okay. And that's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. It's not just feel good kumbaya time. It is that, but it's also a way to develop your business that can develop your leads for you. And the reason why I bring this up at the very beginning is I want you guys to have a mindset shift right now. And that's this: your business is not marketing home fitness programs and nutritional supplements. That's not the business you're in. Your business is lead generation. You're in the lead generation business. Okay, and you have to think this way, because it does not matter how busy you were today. It doesn't matter how many coaches you sponsored, how many challenge packs you sold. If you didn't do work that generates new leads, you didn't build your business today. Make sense? So we just need to get in that mindset shift. I'm in the lead generation business. Now, relationship marketing, it's also a system. It's a system that we follow. It allows us to serve and bring value first. Okay, so we serve and bring value first. Also, when we invest systematically in relationships, people are more likely to want to do business with us, and they're more likely to recommend our business to other people. So I'm going to show you guys as I demonstrate this tonight, instead of that whole like go for no philosophy where we're leaving relationships and bodies behind us as no's, in this system, we are going to create an army of advocates. Okay. And then we're able to create predictable and reliable results for our business. This isn't just a feel-good thing. It's something we can predict. And I'll show you that Teamzy can actually tell you what you need to be doing in order to make a certain level of income. And we can do that because we have seen the patterns and the predictability of the system over years. Okay, and then we always know what to do next because it's a system. And what's better for duplicating your downline than always knowing to do next, right? Okay, here's another important principle for you. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So remember, your business is lead generation, right? We generate leads so that we can develop and deepen relationships with them. It's pretty cool. And if your focus stays there with building your business, you're always going to have a thriving business. And just a little aside, your business is going to be fun. It's going to be fun and not a drag. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take relationships and turn them into advocates over time. We'll do it by investing time and providing outstanding service. Okay. We take relationships and turn them into advocates. And you guys know what an advocate is, because every one of you is an advocate for probably 10 different products or companies. Human beings are designed to share anything that they love, right? So as we become the thing, or we represent the business that people love, they will be our advocates. Okay. I know I'm going through these slides fast. Hang with me, guys. There's a lot, but I think it's all good stuff. Here's another important principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay, now some of you are like, good, I'm in the right place because I'm not a jerk. I love people. But it's really important. Have you guys come across people in this business that are not trustworthy? That do shady things? Yeah. And there are plenty of methodologies in network marketing that work for shady people. That's why there's a bad reputation on the industry. What I'm telling you guys is that relationship marketing and Teamzy, they depend on trust, which means you have to actually have a heart to help people. But the cool thing about this is that trust makes the work fun. Because if somebody trusts you even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them or sell them. You get right to helping them, right? Also, trust takes away that icky salesperson feeling. How many of you guys are like, I just never want to be the icky salesperson? And, you know, me too. Now, we'll talk about a little bit later when we talk about follow-ups, how sometimes that actually hurts us a little bit, but I'll help you get around that. But trust takes away that icky salesperson feeling, and then you get to go for yes. The whole idea here is that we're not leaving people behind or relationships behind. We're constantly working on all of our relationships and moving them forward, warming them up, moving them towards a yes. Okay. So how do you actually build trust? Now, the thing that I love about trust is that you can build it intentionally. It can be something that you work on, okay? I'm going to share with you 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, I'll go through them really quickly, guys, and then I'll break them down for you. The first one is chemistry. Chemistry. The second one is character. Character. The third, competence. Competence. And the fourth is consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right, now let's go through these really quickly. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? And this one I probably don't need to explain too much. I think you guys will get this one. Basically, it's really hard to trust somebody you don't like, isn't it? So we need to find common ground, do all the training that you've received on listening to people, not being interesting, but being interested, right? Find that chemistry. The second one is character. Character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Now, guys, I want you to notice something about this definition. Character is not something you have. It's not something you intrinsically just have. It's something you do. You have to do it. It's a lot of times we think we have like integrity or we have stuff like it's something we have. It's not. Character is how you care about people, and you can only do that by actually doing it and demonstrating it. Does that make sense? Competence. Let's talk about competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Again, something you have to demonstrate, not something you can just have. People need to see you demonstrating this in order to believe it. Make sense? And there's 2 pieces to this. I need to know, can you help me with my health and fitness goals? Are you competent enough with these products to do that? And I need to know, can you mentor me in this business? Are you good at what you do and are you a business person? I need to know these things. Now, just one little quick note on competence. Anybody that's a newer coach on the call, probably for sure on the recording on this later, and you may have heard somebody say, just fake it till you make it. Have you guys ever heard that? Yeah. So it's really important. I want you guys to understand this. This is part of the philosophy of this. Don't fake it. No faking. Faking doesn't work. This is about trust. You need to be real. Now, here's the cool thing. You don't need to fake it because you can lean into the competence of your team. your team is unbelievably competent, right? So if you're new and you're bringing new people on, you say, hey, we're going to do this together. We're going to plug into this amazing team with all of this expertise and all of this knowledge and experience. Okay, so lean into the competence of your team. And if you're new, demonstrate your team's competence. Talk them up. Talk about the trainings. Talk about, you know, post up all the cool stuff that you're involved in. All right, so before I get to number 4, let me just give you guys another principle, which is kind of the backbone of these points, and that's this. People only care about 3 things, and this is in reference to working with you. People only care about 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Now, the reason I bring up this principle, and you guys may have read this in other places, if you're personal development junkies like me, a lot of these principles you've read in other places. Every time anyone has an objection, it comes from these 3 questions. All objections come from these 3 questions. So if somebody has an objection, and it could be about the vitamin D content of Shakeology, I don't care what it is. Objections come from these, right? Maybe not consciously, but maybe just subconsciously. So it's a cue to you to understand, I need to continue investing in this relationship. I need to continue developing trust with this person. Because as a pro, you should be able to overcome an objection and still make the sale, right? Or overcome the objection and still help somebody join the team. But understand that that objection tells you that there's still work to be done on that relationship. Now, the cool thing is, Teamzy is a tool designed to help you work on all your relationships. I'll show you that as we go. Okay, the 4th is consistency. Consistency. Man, like I just see the word sometimes and it gives me like that feeling, because consistency is hard, right? It's hard. Here's my principle on consistency. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you where I got this principle, because I always want to cite my sources. Such a great book. I'm going to recommend it to you guys. It's called Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. I don't know if you guys have read this book, but you should write it down and read it. Here it is. I put it on the screen for you. By Robert Cialdini. Such an awesome book. If you are more of a visual type, I believe he did a TED Talk on these principles too, so you can do the shortcut version. However, one of the chapters is about the desire to be consistent. It's huge. It's one of the biggest motivators for all human beings. We want to be consistent. And consistency is hard. So we respect it and we desire it. Here's the thing. How many of you guys have been told that you're inspiring? People are inspired by what you're doing. And have you ever stopped to think, like, what is it about me that's inspiring? Why am I inspiring? I mean, I know you're trying to inspire people, but I mean, you're just a normal person, right? With all kinds of issues, just like everybody else. And some of us, you know, even Beachbody coaches, our weight goes up and down. Like, we go through the whole thing. But people are inspired by you because they see you being consistent, even in small things. And they respect it. They desire it for themselves. That's inspiring. Okay. This is huge. And how many of you guys have kids? Yeah. How important is being consistent with building trust with children? Huge, right? It's the same with grown-ups. Consistency is the most important thing. Okay. Consistency is the most important thing. So are you guys consistent? And again, some of this stuff I'm teaching tonight, a few of you should probably be thinking, what does this have to do with the software we're supposed to be seeing? But it's important because your heart needs to be in the right place and your actions need to be in the right place for the software to help you leverage all that. Makes sense? So are you consistent? Are you a product of the product? Have you guys wondered why this is so ingrained by the organization into you? It's because they know that if you're consistently using the product, you will be attracting other people to do the same thing because they want to be part of that. So are you a product of the product? Are you being consistent? Are you doing your workouts, drinking your Shakeology? Are you actually committed to healthy living and doing your personal development regularly? I'm not going to go off on a tangent on that. Just know I could, and you should do your personal development. Love you guys. Okay. Are you struggling but moving forward, not perfect but determined? I mean, it's important that we talk about this because if you are not consistent, no one's going to believe you and trust you and follow you and join you. Make sense? But the real checkup from the neck up, as my buddy Zig Ziglar would say, is, are you as consistent in your relationships as you are about doing that other stuff? Right? Are you as consistent about staying in touch with people as you are doing workouts every day, drinking Shakeology, right? So posting on social? I know probably all of us could say we post on social more often than we stay in touch with people, right? Here's the principle I want you to get, and that's people won't believe you till they see you. And the thing is, you know, social media is an amazing tool. I mean, it's pretty much awesome. I think I was on a team call the other day and I said, it's like the invention of the airplane as far as for our society, right? It's really, really amazing. But at the same time, when you guys post on social media, there's a small percentage of people that interact with you, but there's a ton of people watching. But those people don't believe you mean them because they don't hear from you personally. The magic is in the personal connect. Okay, and I'll show you guys that as we get going. But this is a principle. People won't believe you until they see you. They don't think you mean them until they hear from you. Make sense? Okay. The slide's going backwards instead of forwards. Here we go. Relationship building, it's a contact sport. It's a contact sport, which means if you want to build relationships, you have to be in contact with people. That's the only way to do it. There's no way to shortcut it. Okay, you have to be in regular contact with people. And I'm going to actually show you how you can be in contact with thousands of people, even in the scarce little bit of time you guys have. You just need a system to help you. But here's an important principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Remember I told you your paramount duty as a business owner was to develop and deepen relationships? Well, now I'm telling you the only way to do it is investing time. So let's talk about this a little bit. I just want to give you guys a quick example. Hold on, I want to see your faces while I do this. How many of you guys have ever received a really great card from somebody? Like it was an awesome card. You know what I mean by that, right? Somebody wrote you a message and it hand wrote it and the message like connected with you emotionally. Have you guys ever got a card like that from somebody? Okay, great. And after you read the card, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best card. I don't know if some people are like, some of you are like me. I like the card better than the present. If it's a good card, right? My wife's the other way around. She's like, you don't have to give me a card, babe. But when you get that awesome card and you're done reading it, what do you do with it? Do you just, that was nice, right in the trash can? Are you guys able to throw those cards away? Or do you have like your special place? Do you guys have like a special place where you've saved cards? Even though you're like, why am I saving these cards? You just can't bear to throw them out. Most people do, right? Like a drawer or a box. But then you get cards that are easy to throw away, like the happy birthday postcard from the dentist, right? He always spells my name with a K. 15 years, same dentist, spells my name with a K. And I always tease him. I go, how come my birthday card says K and my bill is spelled correctly? But those go in the trash because they don't mean anything. What's the difference? I mean, why do we keep those other cards? Guys, the reason why those mean so much is because somebody took their most precious thing, their time, and they invested it just in you. Like when they wrote you that message, they weren't on Facebook at the same time. They were like locked in. That was time with you. Not only time, which is rare, undivided attention. What do we ever give undivided attention to? Like, do you guys really think about it? Do you do anything with undivided attention? I mean, we don't drive our cars with undivided attention. Like we don't do, it's very, very rare that we do anything with undivided attention. That's why it's so incredibly impactful in a relationship. Now, I'm not saying you should be writing cards to everybody, though writing cards, it should be part of your marketing plan because that is a marketing collateral that someone will never throw away. How cool is that? They don't sell anything like that on the Beachbody website, something that will never be thrown away, but a personal note card from you won't. It's pretty amazing. But even just connecting with people via text or Facebook message can have a deep impact. And I'll show you guys how to do that. But it's because you're connecting one-on-one that it matters. Make sense? Okay, let's go back. I think I have one more slide and then we'll jump into Teams and get set up. So what you need is a system. You got to have a system. You got to have a system. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships. Okay? Know when to contact them. So you're not spending too much time planning and not enough time doing, which happens to a lot of people. You should know what you're going to say. I don't want you to have to spend all day coming up with the perfect messaging, right? Know what you're going to say. And then make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. And without a system, there's no way to do that. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this. Gosh, it happened to me a lot as a coach, where you're talking to somebody and they're interested and they decide, you know what, I'm not ready yet. No problem, I'll connect with you a little bit down the road. And then what happens? You see them on Facebook. Hi world, I'm a Beachbody coach. Like, what happened? They fell through the cracks, right? You planted the seed, got them thinking about it. You watered the seed, put sunshine on the seed. And then when they were ready to harvest, you just weren't there, somebody else was. So you need a system so that won't happen. All right, so let me jump out because the next slide, I can't show you to the end, which is your action steps. All right, we're gonna go right into Teamzy. By the way, you guys, speaking of undivided attention, if you have your camera off, I believe you are goofing off and not watching this. Just saying, accountability. See, Marissa's on here. She's not playing Words with Friends right now. Okay. So here's Teamzy. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it up. First of all, you need to get, if you're not already using it, go get a 30-day free trial. It's free. There's no credit card, nothing weird. There's not like, it's free because we know you're gonna like it. So go get a free trial for 30 days. And when you first launch your free trial, you'll be inside a setup wizard. If you've dismissed it, you can get it again by clicking this little wheel at the top and going to setup wizard. Okay. The setup wizard just makes setting this up easy. Now, if you've ever used a CRM like Salesforce or any of the other CRMs, you know setting them up is not fun. We've tried to make this as easy as we can. So there's 3 things we'll do in the setup wizard. We're going to set an income goal, and then Teamzy's going to tell us what to do to hit it. We're going to create a powerful why so that you're prepared to not quit when times are tough. And then we're going to get your contacts imported and get them all organized so that you are super mega organized in your business. All right, so let's get started. First thing we'll do is set an income goal. What income do you want to be, what income level do you want to be at 12 months from now? Okay. And this is just a gut number, like a ballpark number. It doesn't have to, just what do you want? I put 150,000 in the slot. Okay. If you think like 30,000 is realistic, just stretch it a little. Just stretch it a little because we're going to really help you leverage your time with this tool. Okay. And of course, this isn't an income promise, but we've worked with the system enough with lots of businesses to know that a certain amount of activity is going to give you a predictable result. Okay. So Teamzy has now done the math, and it's telling me that if I want to make $150,000, like be at that level 12 months from now, I need to connect in the next 12 months with 4,348 people. Okay, so that is a lot of hustling. This isn't going to tell you it's not work, but I'm going to show you guys how easy this is because 4,348 is actually more people than lived in the town I grew up in. But if you have to eat an elephant, how do you do it? You guys know this one? If you have to eat an elephant, you do it one bite at a time. So the next page breaks this down for me. It breaks it into 3 groups: prospects, customers, and coaches. That's simple. Look, if you have 18 kinds of prospects on your spreadsheet or whatever, it's too complicated. Every person in the world is a prospect, either to be a customer or a coach, right? So that's where we put them, one list. And then we break it down yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So that huge number, which was 4,348, is now, I need to connect with, right here, I got 9 prospects a day I'm going to connect with. I'm going to connect with 6 customers, 6 of my current customers, and I'm going to connect with 4 coaches on my team every single day. Okay. Now you can change these numbers. If you're brand new and you don't have any coaches, you can make that a 0, right? And then you could add the 4 over here, whatever. You can change these to whatever you want. It's just a suggestion. In fact, I'm going to change that to 10 because I can't have it be 19. It's got to be an even 20. That's just the way I am. I'm kind of a control freak like that. And then you've got a goal. This is a minimum goal of 3 invites and 3 adds to my list every day. You can change those too. Whatever you guys are doing as a team, you can increase those. But I think this is pretty realistic. These 20 connects leading to 3 invites. I think that's a pretty good ratio, and I'll show you guys how that works as we go. Okay. So once you are ready with these numbers, when you hit continue, it's going to set your dashboard up to these goals. So your dashboard will be custom to your goals. Okay. So that's already done. We're on the next thing. Finding your why. Finding your why. All right. I know that you guys have probably talked about this as a team, like finding your why, right? Have you guys talked about this a little bit, how important this is? I just want to give you a couple of stats. The first one is this: 50% of all coaches quit the business in the first 12 months. That's 1 out of every 2 people. It's a bummer, right? And how many of you guys have been a coach for more than a year? Is that about right? Think about the people you brought into the business as coaches. Is that about right? I mean, I wish it was better than that, but that's the truth of the matter. Now, the reason for that, guys, is not because you did anything wrong. However, you can get better. We can get better results than that with some of the things I'm going to teach you right now. But the reason that people quit is because people quit things more often than not, right? ourselves included. And the reason we quit things is because life's hard sometimes. Is that true? How many of you guys have experienced that so far? I guarantee you something's going to happen in your life. That's a challenge, right? I mean, my life, which by the way, like I could tell you that my life is the most amazing, blessed life you've ever seen. And that's true. But it's also a total country western song as far as all the random weird things that happen. Things are going to happen that throw you off your game. You're going to have health issues, personal tragedies, relationship strains, economic woes, right? Or the most insidious thing in the world that happens to people, which is this emotion. I just don't feel like doing it today. If you do that 3 days in a row, you've got a real strong possibility that you're going to be quitting soon. It's the same thing with your workouts, right? So guys, here's why you always hear people talking about the my why. Like, what's your reason? The only time human beings are successful is when they have a reason to be. Right? How many of you would go run and break through the window of your neighbor's home right now for no reason? None of you would. But how many of you would go run and break through the window of your neighbor's home if it was on fire and there was nobody in there to get their children out? You need a reason. You need to come up with a reason that really freaking matters to you on why success is your only option. If you're just kind of putting your toe in the water, guess what? You're going to quit. Now, the thing is, it's okay. And I understand that you may not have thought about your why. You may not even know where to start. This is why I'm actually talking to you about it. It obviously has nothing to do with the software. We just know that if you don't know your why, you're probably going to quit, which means you're not going to be successful, which means we've failed in our mission, right? So we've made it really easy. I'm going to show you right now. It's just a series of questions to get your mind spinning on your why, to help you uncover it, okay? And it's really easy to do. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Okay, so let me go back into Teamzy and I'll show you how this works. So there's just 5 questions, and the questions are just to get you thinking. Okay, so the first one's, why did you become a coach? And I'll tell you my story as we go, just as an example. Obviously, your stories are different. Some of you guys might have one much more dramatic than me. But I became a coach because I bought P90X at Costco. I didn't know about Team Beachbody. Sorry, guys. I bought it at Costco. And when I finally did it, I lost 60 pounds. So, which was pretty crazy. So you can imagine if you lose 60 pounds in 90 days, you look different, right? And everyone was asking me about it. What did you do? P90X. What did you do? P90X. My wife said, you should become a coach and get paid for this. I said, oh, that makes sense. So you can see I started with a deep, passionate reason. No, I didn't. It wasn't a deep reason at all. It just made sense. Next question. What did you hope to accomplish? And I remember asking my sponsor at the time, do you think I could actually make $500 a month doing this? He said, yeah, totally. You could do that easy. I said, great. So that was my deep goal to start. I wanted to make $500 a month. The next question is, why is that important to you? The reason why I wanted $500 a month, that number specifically was, so I told you guys I was in the business consulting business, and I primarily focused on real estate professionals. That was kind of the niche, the sweet spot where I worked. And when the Great Recession happened at the end of 2008, the real estate industry like disappeared. I don't know if you guys experienced that where you live. I mean, here in San Diego, we lost like 50% of our property values. Every house in my neighborhood is foreclosed, just about. It was crazy. It was brutal. And before that happened, we used to save $500 a month. Every month, it was just an automatic transfer. And I was like, I want to save money again. We had not saved. My family, we made it through the recession by God's good grace. But we had not saved a penny in 6 years. Anybody relate to that? I mean, nothing went into our savings account for 6 years. We just made it. So this opportunity, I was like, wow, that'd be cool if I could save again. The next question was, what would achieving this mean for you and your family? The first thing I thought of was, well, if I could save money long enough, we could buy a new house, right? Because we have how many kids do we have now? We have 4 kids now. We didn't have any kids when we got this house. Like we're crowded. And I thought, wow, that would be neat if we could get a new house. So I've already moved from absolutely don't care, maybe I'm making an extra buck, to, wow, we could get a new house. Like even in 5 minutes, there's a little bit more value to being a coach for me. But then I get to this 5th question. Why is that meaningful? How does it make you feel? Why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? And I'll be honest with you guys, like I'm telling you to do this, but I hate these kinds of questions. Like I love personal growth, but I kind of hate it too. Anybody feel like that sometimes? I didn't want to do this one, but as I thought about it, here's what I realized. Buying a new home wasn't meaningful at all. There was no meaning to that. It wasn't meaningful. It's kind of a shallow goal, right? But when I looked at the second part, how does this make you feel? What I realized was the new home was symbolic. It was symbolic. You see, I hadn't thought about it consciously, but subconsciously, I knew that the life that I had with my family life, was not healthy. It wasn't good. It wasn't what I wanted. I was working constantly to make ends meet. And I know a lot of you guys can relate to that. I already told you we didn't save money for 6 years. I mean, I was at the top of my career as far as respect and prestige, and we weren't able to save a penny. And it was frustrating. And I also knew that if I lost my job, I was 60 days from losing everything. Stressful, right? So I'm working all this time. I never see my kids. I kiss them when I leave for work in the morning. They're just getting up. When I get home from work, they are getting ready for bed. That was my relationship with my kids. My son, who had just started kindergarten at the time that I went through this process the first time, was constantly calling me Mr. Lisa instead of Daddy, which was the name of his teacher. And it was heartbreaking. I didn't need a new house, you guys. I needed to fix my life. This opportunity was more than $500 a month extra money. This opportunity, and literally 15 minutes thinking about it, I realized this was a way to redesign my life. This was a way to have the family life that I wanted. This was a way to take away about the worries of money. Like this opportunity was a way to have it all. And my other option was to continue working in my career and not getting anywhere. Does that make sense? So the very last box, as I thought through this, guys, I wrote down my why statement. This is mine, and you'll see it as sample text in your box, just so you know kind of an idea. You're going to write yours here. The last box is what matters. This is the box that will publish on your dashboard when you hit continue from this page, so you can see it every day. I want you to see your why every day so that it gives you a little kick in the butt to get over yourself and do your 20 minutes of connecting, okay? So here's mine. It was to create a life where I'd never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family, and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy, and I'm full of energy. This was my why statement, you guys, and I wrote this, and it was like this amazing dream to achieve this. But I have to tell you that for me, it was life-changing. As soon as I wrote this, I was like, boom, I'm quitting my job. I'm going for my business. My wife's like, what are you talking about? I started building this, which is the shed quarters. I don't know if you guys have seen any of my videos, but I didn't have room in my house. So I built a shed to have an office in so I could build my business. She says, what are you doing that for? I said, I'm going to quit my job and work in this. She goes, you're going to what? Within 90 days of writing this why down, I was retired from my corporate career. Okay, you guys, I look at this why statement now and I think this is just what Tuesday looks like for me, but it started with that intention. You need to don't skip this part. Don't think it's just some hippy dippy stuff. This is important. You need to put your armor on so you're ready. Not just for big things in your life that are going to throw you sideways, but for the days you don't feel like doing it, you need a reason to just go do it, just to connect with people, just to keep building momentum in your business. Does that make sense? Okay. Because your why is more than just what you want in life. Don't forget, it's also who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? All right. That's a little passion tangent. I can't help it. It's just like, I really believe that you need this. People will send a message to our help desk and say, this isn't working for me. Can you cancel my account? And the team, I have them track how many of them have an empty my why statement, and it's almost all the time. What can you do, right? You can bring the horse to water. You can't make him drink. Okay, next step. Let's get your contacts in. Okay, so we're gonna get your contacts in. So first you'll go to the coach office and get your coach list, your downline coach list, and if you have a good sized team, I recommend just getting in your personally sponsored people to start with them, and then your customer list. Okay, you can import those guys. Now, just a couple tips on that. The back office creates these weird little, they're just kind of funky file types. So my suggestion is when you download those, don't open the file, just put them right in Teamzy. Okay, because if you open it in Excel, sometimes it changes the file type. But there's a little video here that shows you how to do it. You're going to go to Coach Office, get those files, put them right in Teamzy. You're going to do your coaches first, then your customers. The third list we're going to import is your Facebook friends. There's a video here that shows you how to do that, which is awesome. You get your whole friends list in here, and now you're not like sorting through Facebook Messenger trying to remember who to connect with. It's going to be all super organized for you guys. And then anywhere else you have lists, you just bring it in as a CSV file. Okay, and there's even more specific training and in the FAQs under University and Teamzy for things like LinkedIn and getting your contacts off your phone, things like that. Okay, so then we're going to get them in, and I'm going to actually bring one in right now to show you really quick. We're going to import my Facebook file, which I believe I have right here. So I've already gotten the archive request from Facebook. There it is. Bam. I'm going to toggle advanced so I can tag them. Facebook friends. I always like to put tags on my people so I know where they came from. Okay, so that's already brought in. It's creating the context right now. Super fast. Beachbody's on like the fastest servers available on the planet. Our Beachbody Teamzy, it's like super fast. Okay, now we've got one more step for setup. It's rank your contacts. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna go through our contacts really fast, and we're gonna rank them on a 5-star rating, just like you do a Yelp, a Netflix, a Amazon, whatever. You guys know how to do that. There's an important principle behind this. If you wanna prioritize your time, you have to prioritize your relationships first. Okay, if you wanna prioritize your time, you have to prioritize your relationships first. Because with relationship marketing, you need to spend more time with the best people. Okay, so the 5-star system, it allows Teamzy to bring up certain people more often than others. Otherwise, you spend all your time with the turkeys in your business, right? The life suckers. We want to spend time with the best people. So let me explain what these rankings mean. A 5-star person is somebody most likely to become a customer or coach, or they're an existing customer coach that's a rock star, okay? 5 stars. They're going to show up on your up next list, which I'll show you in a minute, every 30 days. When they come up on the up next list, our goal is just to connect with them and make their day. That's the goal, just to connect and make their day, okay? The 4-star person, that's somebody likely to become a customer coach with a little bit of nurturing, or they're an existing customer coach that's a consistent performer. They'll show up on your up next list every 60 days. 3 stars, they could go either way. They show up every 90 days. 2 stars are getting colder, they're every 120 days. And a 1 star, this is somebody they're on your list if you need to look them up, but they're not coming up on your up next list, okay? Your do not contacts from Beachbody will show up as 1s as well. Okay, now that we know what the ranks mean, let me show you what it looks like. So after you do an import, it'll bring you to this page. The team page is where your list lives, and it'll be in rank mode. See, normally it looks like this. Rank mode lets you just jam down and change their stars, okay? So you just change them to whatever you want, just by clicking on it, okay? Now, everyone will be a 3-star when you start, so you don't actually have to rank everybody. You just need to go down your list and look for the 4- and 5-star people. People you love the most or you think that are the best prospects, and move them up, okay? All right, great. So once you get all that ranked, you can just click away, it's saved automatically. We're gonna go to the dashboard and do our power hour. You guys ready? I'm ready. Teamzy, are you ready? I must not have clicked it. Okay. So guys, a couple things about this. First of all, the most important part of your power hour won't take anywhere near an hour, and that's reaching out and connecting with people. How many of you would be stoked if I said you can connect with 20 people a day in less than 25 minutes? It's totally doable. I'm going to show you right now how to do it. Okay, so here's a quick tour of the dashboard before we get started. You've got, over here, you've got settings. So if you need settings, it's over there. Okay, if you need to look somebody up that's not down here on your list, you just look them up in this lookup bar. Super easy. If you want to add somebody to your list, you click add contact, you add them to your list. Okay, here's your goals for the day, today's activities. Our goals, in this example, my account, it's to connect with 10 prospects, 6 customers, 4 coaches, invite 3 people to the business opportunity or challenge group or something, and then add 3 people to my list. That's my daily goals, right? So that's kind of like my scoreboard. I'll show you how that works in a second. And then I've got daily accountability things. Did I post on social today? Did I do my personal development work? Did I drink my shake? Did I do my workout? Okay, that's there to keep you consistent. Product to the product. Remember that stuff? Yeah, that's important. We need to build trust. Somebody messaged us the other day and said, this is annoying to me that I have to do this every day. I said, I know. Right? What can I say? It's accountability. We know. It's important though. We want you to stay consistent. Okay, who's up next is where the magic happens. This box right here is where it takes all your lists and organizes them and focuses them. Have you guys ever heard the principle that if you can keep your focus small, you can build your business big? I'll say it again in case you want to get that. If you keep your focus small, you can build your business big. So we only give you 5 people at a time to look at so that you can't get overwhelmed by the thousands of people on your list. This is who's up next, the next person to connect with. Okay, the next person to connect with. So, hold on, I gotta do one thing that I forgot to set up. I forgot to set up my dummy person here as a 4. There we go. All right, because I have real people in here and I don't want to message them all right now while we're talking. Okay, so Lisa Swain is the next person on my list. Okay, so I've got 4 lists. I've got prospects, customers. When I click on these, it changes my list, coaches, and my follow-ups list. So in my power hour, my power half hour, I'm going to work all 4 of these lists. I'm going to go in order, starting with prospects. So the first person on my prospects list is Jay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to message Jay to make her day. I'm going to get in the make someone's day mindset and try to make her day. Now, I'm going to use Facebook. I've got it open over here in a separate tab. I'm ready to send her a Facebook message, okay? Before I do that, I may not know exactly what to say. You guys ever feel like that? And I don't want you to get stuck here in analysis paralysis. So you just click on this scripts button right here. Do you guys see that scripts button? And we've got some great ideas on how to start with the message. So you can see the first one here is the one I'm going to grab, which is, hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. It's so simple, right? Actually, this is my favorite script of all time, you guys. And I know it's so simple, but look what it achieves. It's friendly, it's short, it makes her feel good, and it will start conversations more than anything else. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just click copy script. And then when I toggle over to Facebook, look her up, send her a message. Okay. And I'm just going to paste that message in from my clipboard. I'm going to change the name because it says Jane. That's just like a sample name. Hi, Jay. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Send. Simple. And then what I'll do is I'll copy that just because I don't want to type notes in Teamzy. I copy and paste, make it quicker. So now I'll go back to Teamzy. That's been sent. Now I'm just going to log that I sent her this message. Okay. What type of message was it? It was a Facebook message. Now watch what happens to my dashboard when I log this connect. My list moved up. Kelly's now moved up. I have 1 on my scoreboard here, right? And this circle's starting to fill in. Now, what's cool about this is my tracking is also done. I messaged her. It told me who to message. I messaged her, told me what to say, and it's done and it's tracked. Now I'm on to the next person. I'm going to go to Kelly and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look her up on Facebook and I'm going to send her a message. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to send her a message. And I would just use that same message all day long. All the way down, bam, 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 just change the name. However, in this case, I need to send her, it's her birthday, so I need to send her a happy birthday message. Okay, you get the idea, right? We'll log it. I should get credit for that, don't you think? Look, I got 2 on the board. Now I'm just going to keep going down the board. Bam, 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 sending messages. Am I concerned about responses? Not right now. Your focus right now is the outgoing messages. Your power hour is outgoing messages only. Don't get sidetracked when they start responding, and they will. I'll show you how to deal with that in a minute. But first, we're going to go down our list until we do all 10 prospects that are on our goal, whatever your goal is. Bam, 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 bam. When that circle is fully blue, I move to the next list, which is customers. I'm going to start connecting with my customers. The same goal, make someone's day. I'm going to go connect with Mike. Now when I go to scripts, I have different scripts. It's my customer scripts, right? So I got stuff like, you know, how are your workouts coming along? Are you drinking your water and shakes? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Or my favorite customer script of all time. Are you guys ready? It's this one. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Try that one on customers tomorrow and tell me what they say. A lot of them will say, you just made my day. which is great, right? Here's the thing, guys. You need to be in touch with customers. And I talk to Beachbody coaches all the time that have these huge lists of customers that they're not in touch with. Your customers are a gold mine for you. First of all, forget the gold mine part. They need you. How many people have you ever had to a challenge group that were like, I got it. My life's changed. I don't need you anymore. Nobody, right? They need you to stay on track. You need to be in touch with them as their coach. But from a business standpoint, if you want that email you get every fall from Beachbody that tells you how many months someone stayed on Shakeology to have a bigger number, you need to be in touch with people. You need to be there, encouraging them, educating them. And I mean, I always assumed that if someone did a challenge group with me and they were really committed, that they should be doing at least 4 a year with me, maybe more, right? Which means they're buying more programs, they're getting more Shakeology, they're doing 3-day refreshes constantly, right? This is volume for your business, you guys. You got to be in touch with people. But there's even a more important reason than that to connect with customers regularly. And that's this. I'm not going to go deep into this. I want to, but I did a full training on this. It's already in the Teamzy University, which is over here on the left side. You can go watch that training. The hottest source for a new lead in your business is a current customer. Okay, the hottest source for a new lead in your business is a current customer. There's no better way to get a new customer or a new coach than talking to a current customer. Somebody who's using the products and getting results, they are already talking to everybody they care about what they're doing. Okay, and I go through and I do a full 60-minute training on this and explain how to actually get introduced to those people that they're talking to. It's really easy to do. You just got to be intentional and follow the system. That's in the university. But you got to be in touch with customers. It's important. They need you. They represent, you can generate 2 or 3 times the volume that you're getting by staying in touch with customers and training your team to do it. And you'll never have to worry about hitting SC again if you're talking to current customers. Okay, the last group. So when I'm going to connect with 6 customers. Then I'm going to start connecting with my coaches. Hey, how you doing? How can I make your day? What are you up to? Can I do anything for you today? It's so important, you guys. This is called Teamzy for a reason. It's about your team. And having a Facebook page, being on a live Zoom call once a week is not the same as a relationship with your team. They need to hear from you. They need to hear from you. Last spring when I was on the cruise ship and people were starting to recognize me as the Teamzy guy, and I got into all these great conversations. And I remember talking to somebody who was successful. I mean, amazing. Somebody I looked up to. She was 7-star qualifying at the time. And her sponsoring coach was a superstar diamond coach. And I just asked her, I said, do you guys ever talk? Like, do you ever hear, make sure you guys are muted. Do you ever hear from her? And she goes, no, not since I signed up actually, but I have access to her if I need to. I said, well, how meaningful would it be if she just sent you a text every 3 or 4 months that just said, hey girl, I'm checking in on you. What are you up to? Do you need anything from me? How are you? And it's so funny because we're just having a chat, you know, and this person I was talking to, like her eyes welled up. She got really emotional. And I realized it's a kind of even a bigger deal than I thought. People need to be connected to you. So no matter how successful you get, please stay connected to your coaches. Teamzy's going to help you do it. I don't care if you have 1 million of them. Teamzy will help you do it, okay? So we're going to connect with our prospects, our customers, our coaches. And when those are all done, then we're going to work our follow-ups list. Okay, now, how do we get people on the follow-ups list? Let me give you guys an example. The magic happens in the follow-ups list, right? So before we get there, let me just give you guys a little stat. Typically, messaging people directly via text or Facebook Messenger will get a response rate of 50% or better, which means that if you're sending out 20 messages, you're actually probably going to create an average of about 10 conversations every day. Okay? And those conversations are just conversations because you just said, hey, I hope you're having a great day. And they say, oh my gosh, that's great. I hope you're having a great day. How are you? And you start talking, right? You form, you listen, you ask questions, and you're looking for ways to help them. That's the goal, you guys, looking for ways to help them. This is relationship marketing. You're not looking for ways to recruit them or sell them, though you're keeping open to those opportunities. You're looking for ways to help them. And out of those 10 conversations, our goal, remember, was to send 3 invites. So we connect with 20 people, we create 10 conversations. Our goal is to send 3 invites. So those conversations are going to be developed to the point where we can send an invite. So let me give you an example. We message Jay. Jay messages me back. We have a great conversation. And she says, you know, I think I really am ready to do something, you know, to get back in shape. Great. I said, Jay, let's get on the phone. Let's talk about your goals. We get on the phone, start asking her questions. She's telling me goals. I'm taking notes. And as we're talking, I say, you know what? I think we have the perfect program for you. It's a great place to start. It's called 21 Day Fix, right? This is just an example, but you guys may have a conversation like this too. And I tell her all about it. She's excited. She's so excited. How many of you guys have talked to somebody like that and they're super excited? Okay. And then fast forward in a minute, when I start following up, she won't respond to any of my follow-ups. If you guys had that, I'm going to explain why that happens too. So now what I'm going to do, Jay, great. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you an email right now. It has all the information on the group, on the program, on Shakeology, and it has the link in that email that you'll use to order the challenge pack. Okay? She says, awesome. Great. I will check in with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. She says, okay, great. Thanks, Eric. So how do I do that in Teamzy? So I'm having this conversation via Messenger and on the phone, and now I want to log that I'm going to invite her to this group. So here's how I do it in Teamzy. I'm going to look her up in my lookup bar, okay? So this will bring me right to her record. Obviously, she's not on my dashboard anymore. So this will bring me to her record. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this connect because I want to log the invite that I just sent her. People always go, well, don't you want to log the whole conversation you had? You can if you want to. Me personally, I only log my next thing. I log my next thing. I want to stay on track with her, but I don't necessarily, because it's already all in Messenger, right? So I'm just logging my connect. This is going to be an email, right? And see this little box right here? It says, is this connect an invite? I'm going to click it because it's an invite. I'm sending her an invite now to a group. And so my type of invite, it's a challenge group invite. Okay, do you guys see that? There's free group, challenge group, business opportunity, Shakeology, and other. Okay, it doesn't actually say Shakeology for you attorneys. No brand names. All right, so now I'm inviting her to a challenge group. Now check this out. Before I log this, guys, this is set for default on follow-up. She's a 4, which means that's 60 days. When did I say I'd follow up with her? Tomorrow, right? So I need to set that. So I'm going to click on this and set my follow-up for tomorrow. I have a few choices: tomorrow, 2 days, 4 days, a week, right? Several weeks. Or I can do a custom date. But I'm going to set it for tomorrow because that's what I said. So now check this out. When I log it now you can see I've got a follow-up set for her. Okay, so when I go to my dashboard to work my follow-up, my power hour, I'm going to connect with prospects, customers, coaches, and then I'm going to work down my follow-ups list, and there she is right there. Okay, she's on my follow-ups list, so I can't mess it up. You with me? So let me talk to you guys a little bit about follow-ups. Now that you know how easy it is, I won't drop her, she can't fall through the cracks. Here's the thing you guys got to understand. Did you know that 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up? Have you guys heard that before? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Now, how many of you guys would say you follow up 10 times? Nobody, right? Marissa does. Who's the leader of the team? There's a reason, right? Most people don't follow up that much, and they miss out on more than 80% of all sales. That's crazy. That's how, by the way, you had somebody who was interested and then you found out they signed up with somebody else. Guess what? You didn't follow up enough. Now, I understand why you don't follow up 10 times. Trust me, I do. I understand. Well, one reason is you probably just don't have a system that's organized enough, because actually following up 10 times takes a tremendous amount of organization. And if you're trying to do it on notepads and notebooks or spreadsheets, you're probably not able to do it. That's why you need something like Teamzy. But here's the real reason you don't. How many of you just think you'd be the most annoying person in the world if you followed up 10 times? Right? I know you guys are thinking that. Now, here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to talk to you about, in a minute, I'm going to teach you how to do it without being annoying. Okay, so stick around for that. You're going to like that. But here's what I want you guys to know. Your business, you're in the transformation business, right? You're helping people change their life. And when you're talking to somebody about what this program can do for them, and they are super excited and grateful, right? Why is it they don't respond to your follow-ups? Have you ever wondered that? Okay, so let me just explain this to you guys. This is just basic human psychology. They're excited when they're talking to you because they want to change. But 80% of their decisions, 80% of their actions are made by their subconscious mind. Have you guys heard that before? I know some of you guys have. This is how you can drive home from work and not know how the heck you did it. Anyone ever done that? Your subconscious mind made all the moves. You were spaced out. Your brain does not like change. Doesn't, hates it. Guess what we're selling them? Transformation. So they're excited consciously. Subconscious mind is going, no way. We're not doing that. We're eating bacon-covered donuts every Sunday, and we're not changing. That's a lot of work. You're nuts. We're not doing that. So what's going to happen is they're going to get subconsciously sabotaged every time you try to connect to get them engaged in this group. This is normal. Don't be offended when people don't respond. That's the way they should behave if they're a normal human being. So the only thing that's going to help them change, the change that they want, is your follow-up. You got to think of it that way. This is why I always say this, you guys. If you care about people and care about helping them, you have to follow up with them. That's the only thing that's going to help them. So if that's true, following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. And if you fail to follow up with somebody, you are telling them, I don't care about you. Some of you guys need to write following up as an act of love on like a sticky note and put it on your computer corner of your computer screen to help you do it. But here's the best part. Following up without being annoying is actually quite easy to do. You want to learn that? I'm going to teach you. There's 2 principles to never be annoying when you follow up. First of all, I mean, this goes without saying, you have to actually have a heart to help somebody, want to help them. That kind of is underlying. But the first thing you do is never ask someone to do anything on the follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything on the follow-up. That's so annoying. I've got Stephanie right in the middle of my screen. Like, Stephanie, if I called you and left you a message that said, hey, Stephanie, it's Eric, can you call me back? Wouldn't that be an annoying message? Like, tell me why you're calling. Why do I have to call you back? Can I text you back? Like, I'm already irritated, even just giving you the example. Don't give them anything to do. Okay, don't ask them to call you back. Don't ask them to text you back. Don't ask them to tell you, are you in or out for the group? Don't ask them to do anything. Your text messages or your messages, your follow-ups, are simply a reminder to reconnect them to that feeling of hope and excitement they had when they talked to you. Okay, so we're not asking them to do anything. You're just being present for them. That's the first thing. The second principle is this. Your follow-up should be short enough they can read it on their notification screen of their phone without opening the message. They don't want you to know they've seen it, right? Aren't you guys that way with texts and messages? They want to read it but not actually have acknowledged that they've seen it. And that's okay. We want to make it easy for them. So keep them short and sweet so they can see most of it on the screen. Your follow-up is they're going to see it and they're going to go, they're going to feel good about you. That's the way you do it. Okay, now here's the other cool thing I'm going to tell you. We've put 10 follow-ups in Teamzy as scripts for you. So you can actually use 10 like proven follow-up scripts without even thinking. Okay, this is going to be so easy for you guys. Who's ready to follow up 10 times now? Let me show you how this works. So when I come into Teamzy and I'm going to follow up with Jay, I'm on my follow-ups list. I'm going to follow up with her. I'm going to go to scripts. Facebook is how I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to look at follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? It's simple, it's caring, it's all about her. I'm going to copy that, right? And I'll send that to her in Facebook, right? And then I'll copy it over here just so you guys get the idea. Now, when I log this follow-up, I need to set the next one. Always set the next follow-up. She does not get to be off my list until she's done. Always set the next follow-up before you connect, before you log it. So I'm going to set it again for tomorrow and log it. Okay, so tomorrow when I come do it again, I'm going prospects, customers, coaches, and then when I work my follow-ups list, I'm working down the list. And when I get to J, okay, when I get to J, I'm now going to go to scripts, and I'm going to go back in and get follow-ups number 2. Wait a second, what did I do? Oh, I got the wrong J. I have 2 of them in here, so it's, anyways, you get the idea. So I'm going to come in here and do, am I on the wrong list? I'm on the wrong list. Here we go, follow-ups list J, there she is. Because the scripts are automatically know what list you're on. They serve you the right ones, which is cool. Here we go. Now I'm going to do follow-up number 2 with her. Just making sure you got my email, checking to see if you have any questions. Okay, and I'll set the next follow-up. The next one is going to be, I'm excited about the goals we discussed. Can't wait to get started. You can, by the way, edit these and save them, write your own, whatever. But there's 4. You see how short and sweet they are? Hey, Jane, I'm just staying in touch so I can help you achieve your goals. Okay, and you're going to connect. Do you need to do it every single day? No, but I usually would do it. I would do it every day for like 3 days, and then maybe 2 days apart for a couple. And then after that, maybe 4 days apart, okay? Use your own discernment. But here's the thing I want you guys to know. The vast majority of people will not even respond. It'll be pure crickets to your first 5 or 6 follow-ups. Have you guys experienced that with people? They won't even respond. Or they may respond and just say, oh, I haven't had a chance to, or something. But most people won't even respond at all. And that's their subconscious mind working. What you were doing when you're following up with them is you're actually rewiring their brain to get around the decision of making the change. Make sense? So you got to keep going. People won't respond to the first 5 or 6 follow-ups. What do most coaches do? They're not interested and they move on. That's how you find people on other people's teams that you developed as a prospect. Keep going. It takes you, with Teamzy, it will take you 1 second to do a follow-up every day. Okay, just keep going. And then what happens is, let me show you how to finish this off. So Jay, 8 or 9 times in, Jay's like, boom, I'm in, I did it. I go into coach office. I see that she bought her challenge pack. She came in as a coach. She's smart, great. So how do I finish her off in the system? I'm gonna look her up. Okay, I'm gonna look her up. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log the sale just so I know it resulted in a sale. It was a challenge pack. Okay, save that. And then I'm going to move her now to coach. See, she's a prospect. I'm gonna click on coach, that moves her to my team, and I'm gonna click personally sponsored. So now I finished her off in the system. She started out as a prospect. We connected with her, started a conversation. We had a great conversation, which led to an invite. We followed up the invite like a pro. Now she's on the team. I will continue to connect with her on my coach list now. She'll be on the coach list as I continue to connect with her. Does that make sense? And that's how you bring somebody through the whole system. Okay, I've been talking a long time. I know, sorry. Do you guys have questions for me? I'm looking at the chat really quick too. Just unmute if you have questions and ask it.
I have a question. So I run my business solely off of my like page.
Uh-huh.
So is there a way to download all of like I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages that are like archived. Is there any way to like download those into Teamzy?
No.
Okay. Is there any way to somehow put everyone who's liked my page, like I have 38,000 likes. Is there any way to put those people into Teamzy?
So Facebook allows you to download your friends, okay? But it doesn't allow you to download your likes from your like page. If you read the terms and conditions, they tell you this, which is nuts, is that those people that list is property of Facebook, not yours, because they're liking a Facebook page, which belongs to Facebook. It's just lawyer talk. The bottom line is that there's no way to export those names. So you're gonna have to do a manual process to move people over from your like page into Teamzy. What I would recommend you do is if you want all 38,000 of those people in Teamzy, you may not want all 38,000 of those people, but you may want everyone that's messaged you, right? Is if you have somebody around like an idle teenager or somebody in your life who needs to make an extra few bucks, is you have somebody make you a list. They just make you a spreadsheet, first name, last name, right? Because really that's all you usually get anyways. And just make a list, and then you can import that into Teamzy really fast. And then what you're gonna wanna do, Stephanie, as you go, is as you're working your like page, you're gonna be every day just adding people to the Teamzy list as they interact with you. So as you're interacting with people on the like page, put them in Teamzy, and then you can tag them, like page. Then you can actually have a tag group of like page people that you can be working. You can actually have a couple of different tags that you use, that you add and remove based on where they're at in the process with you. Does that make sense? And I know people do the exact same thing when they work Instagram. They have, because there's no way to export Instagram followers. So they'll go through and they'll just be adding people constantly every day. I know when I was a coach, my success partner, she used to meet 25 people a day on Instagram. And then she put them in Teamzy as tag Instagram leads. And then she would remove that Instagram lead when they interacted enough that they became somebody she was in regular contact with. Does that make sense? So there's different ways you can use it to do it. But the bottom line is that you want, really what you want are the people that you have some sort of interaction with, that you have a chance of building a relationship with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Like I reach out to everyone that comments. So it's like I would comment and then add them to Teamzy. Now,
Right. And then
have
you may delete them after a while if there's nothing happening with them, you know, as you're cycling through.
yeah.
But Teamzy would bring that person up for you a couple months later, whereas you might just completely forget about that person, and you can continue to message and connect with them over time.
Um also, is there any like are you gonna ever connect Teamzy to Messenger? Like honestly, like something that turned me off was like, oh, I gotta copy and paste everything that I'm doing from like here to Teamzy. Like that's kind of annoying. So is that something that is even feasible to have it connected to your Facebook Messenger? So instead of typing in two different places, you can just type in one?
It actually was connected for about 2 weeks. And then Facebook changed their security APIs and booted every app in the world out. So it's not possible. Facebook won't allow it. That would be so cool though. I agree. But nothing will ever integrate with Facebook Messenger unless Facebook owns and builds it. So that's just kind of the state of the union. But you know, the bottom line is you're still going to be so fast. I know you got to toggle back and forth, but even toggling, it's like you can be unbelievably efficient still. Makes sense. Okay, any other questions? I'm going to just scan real quick. All right. If you guys have any other questions, just unmute now and ask them. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you your action steps. You got to have action steps. Told you I'm a professional coach. Where am I? Do you guys see my presentation? Did it share the screen? Okay. We already saw this slide. Action steps. First one, make sure at least get your 30-day free trial. You guys may already be using it, but if you're not, get your 30-day free trial. Get the coaches on your team into the free trial too. It's free, right? You're going to either love it or not. I think you'll love it. And then what I want you to do is get a success partner to do the trial with you. Like if you already have a success partner, recruit them and say, let's do this together. But if you don't, choose somebody from the team or a sideline from another team that you like and say, will you do this with me for 30 days? What I want you guys to do is hold each other accountable to using it during the 30 days. And every single day when you're done, you got your Teamzy dashboard, your activities are done. You get this little message. For those of you guys using it, this message says, you crushed it 100%. I want you to take a screen grab of that and message that to your success partner. Okay, because that will hold you accountable. When you see that screenshot come in, I know you're going to be so irritated sometimes because you don't want to do it. But you feel if you're at all competitive like me, you're going to want to go do it when you see your partner's done it. So get a 30-day success partner to do the trial with you. Also, I'm going to give you guys a 5-day challenge. It's kind of like the 3-day refresh versus the ultimate reset, right? I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. What I want you to do is in 5 days in a row, consecutive days, I want you to connect with at least 100 people. That's 20 people a day average for 5 days. And I want you to do it 5 days in a row because it's really important for you to feel what kind of momentum you can build in just a regular work week. Okay? So how many of you guys are in, can't even see your faces, where are you? How many of you guys are in to do the 5-day challenge? Okay, look around, you guys. That's public accountability right there. If you do that 5-day challenge, you guys are going to get some results. And that will encourage you guys to keep going, keep connecting with people. Cool? Okay. Awesome. Marissa, do you want to tie it up for us?
No, I'm glad I learned there were some things that I definitely didn't know how to do. So I'm glad you came on and I learned about, I didn't know you could put everybody in a list and then upload it like an Excel spreadsheet. That's not good to know because I mean, you guys can hire an assistant for, a couple of dollars an hour and you could literally have them go through your inbox and put them into a list and then upload them into Teamzy for you. You don't have to do any of that. And it's going to be their time, it's going to free you up to be able to have more conversations with people on the phone and be able to reach out to more people and do other things. So I love that. I love that they can just put them in a list, but I probably have them put it in a list and then upload that Excel spreadsheet into there. And then the other thing was I wasn't using any of those scripts, and I didn't understand how to connect with like customers and coaches. I was just doing prospects, like only prospects. So those were all new to me.
Cool. Well, I'm glad we got to come on here to do that for you guys tonight. You know, the biggest thing is just, you know, I truly believe what you guys do makes such a huge impact in people's lives. I know, I mean, it was really sad for me to close my business center, my Coach Business Center, because I have a collection of people whose lives are completely different because of interacting with me as their coach. And it's incredibly inspiring. This is going to allow you guys to get more of that, to help more people, to get it out there more. Does that make sense? So I'm excited for you. And also just want to let you guys know, we're really happy to have you guys as part of our family too. So use that free trial, enjoy it. There's a help button at the bottom in purple. If you've run into any trouble, you just click that button, send a message. Our team will help you through it. We just passed our first year as supporting the Beachbody business community. What is it now? It's April. So a year and 4 months, which is pretty awesome. And we just passed 25,000 Beachbody coaches using Teamzy, which is pretty awesome. So welcome. You're among.
Aren't you opening it up to other MLMs now too?
We are, yes, we are. We're at 7 networks now and growing, but each one's customized to their business.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I kind of blew my 30-day trial, but I got a little, I guess, turned off because I followed everything and it was like, upload all your coaches, upload all your customers. And it uploaded everyone together. And I was like, and it was just too big of a mess that I didn't feel like dealing with. And then my 30-day trial was over. But like, I followed your steps. So I wasn't quite sure what I did wrong. Like I followed all the steps. I went into my coach online office and I did my coaches, but like coaches ultimately are your customers. So it all just combined.
Yeah. So if you do your coaches, like if you pull those reports straight from Beachbody, don't open them, bring them right in, and you do your coaches first. Then if you do your customers and you have some of those same people on the list, Teamzy will ignore those people. It won't put them in again. So they'll be in the right place. Then when you bring Facebook and you have a lot of the same people on Facebook, again, it will ignore everybody that's already in there. Except for in the cases where somebody uses a different name on Facebook. Does that make sense? Now, I don't know how long ago it was that you did it, Stephanie. It may have improved because we're constantly improving and refining that process.
I did it maybe within the last 2 months. Maybe I didn't look at it close enough, but I know that I was just like, everyone's in the same group. Like it wasn't separating like people that I know are coaches. It wasn't separating them. And I feel like I did my coaches first. I mean, I can't remember.
Well, when you go into the team page, you're going to see 3 lists, and it defaults to an all list, which is a combination of all 3 lists. So when you come in here, it's on all, so everybody's together.
Maybe that's what it was.
And then when you click into prospects, it's just your prospects, your customers, then it separates them this way.
Okay, I didn't know that, and I bet I just looked at all, and I was very it was confusing to me, and I didn't realize that. Okay, that makes sense.
You know what? It's okay. My wife broke up with me a bunch of times before she married me.
Well, I'm like that person. It's like, just tell me how to do it. Figure it out and then tell me how to do it. And like, I don't like to figure things out. So that was okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
Give it another shot. Now you've had a full walkthrough with me. I think it'll probably be a better experience for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
If for any reason though, you guys come into any trouble on your import, that's the hardest part is the import. After that, it's a breeze. Just send a help desk message right away. We'll get you taken care of like really fast. So don't spend hours trying to figure it out. Just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Help me. Okay. All right. I better go. I got to go tuck my kids in. I know some of you guys look like you're ready for bed. Thank you so much for having me. Marissa, I'll send you the recording.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. It was fun. Have an awesome
Have a good night.
God bless.